This is LCC Radio and TV. Good to have you along here on a Tuesday morning. And we have three guests, well, actually four guests in the studio today. And we're going to talk about something that's very interesting. It's the Nurse Family Partnership. And in the studio, we have Danielle Cromell. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay. And she's with young Micah there. Hi, Micah. How you doing?
Mm-hmm.
He's well behaved.
Very.
Very well behaved. Also, Kristen Arnold, who's with us, Danielle's partnership nurse with the program in public. We appreciate you being here today. And you're with the Ingham County Health Department?
Correct.
Okay,
yeah.
very good.
Yeah.
Amanda Lick is here. She's been here before. She was a radio person back in the 90s. Yeah. She's a Nurse Family Partnership Government Affairs Manager. Amanda, I think we're going to talk with you today about this organization. Why don't you kind of give us a brief overview of what the Nurse Family Partnership is about?
So thank you, Jack. I appreciate you having us on today, and it's really good to be back. I was on the radio here at 89.7 FM.
And you got smart and you did something else for a living.
That's what I heard. That's what I was told.
I'm only kidding. We love it here. Go ahead.
I know. So Nurse Family Partnership is really about unlocking a mom's desire to be the best mom that she can be. And it's pairing a bachelor-prepared nurse with a first-time eligible mama. And they enroll that mom early in pregnancy, so within the first 28 weeks. And then they do home visits with that mom until the child's second birthday. It was founded based on this desire that we could make a difference for moms and babies early in pregnancy. Mm-hmm. And it began about 40 years ago with Dr. David Olds. He did about 20 years of research before he began replicating the model. So the first site that replicated the model was about 1996, and that was in Dayton, Ohio, and it's expanded now across the country. So it's really wonderful. We see pregnancy outcomes, better pregnancy outcomes, child health and development outcomes, and then better economic self-sufficiency for the family. Mm-hmm. The nurses, like the one that's here today, work with the mom to set goals. So it's all about what is your heart's desire to be the best mom you can be and to bring the best life and future for you and your baby and your family. And then they set goals and work towards those goals.
So how do you get your funding? I know you just recently got a $325,000 supplemental budget. How does the funding work for this organization?
Sure. So there are a couple of different ways. We actually receive some federal dollars, and then we receive state dollars, and then some of our sites get started through private funding. Mm-hmm. And then some sites receive some county or local dollars as well. So oftentimes it isn't just one funding stream. It's kind of a braided funding opportunity for them.
Sounds like a wonderful organization. Kristen Arnold's with us. She's Danielle's partnership nurse within the program, and good to have you here, Kristen.
Yes, happy to be here.
What's it been like for you to be a part of this program?
It's been wonderful. I think the part that has been most impactful for me is just seeing that change, being able to partner with a mom from before that 28-week in pregnancy until their child turns 2, and not only see the benefits for the child developing, but also the mom finding their strengths and confidence.
It's kind of unheard of these days that medical professionals come to somebody's home and so forth. Now, how many visits do you actually make within the period of time you're there?
It's 60 visits on
60
average.
Visits. Okay.
Yep.
Now, what do you do there?
So depending on the stage, through pregnancy, it looks like really just getting to know the mom and what's important to her, what her past has looked like, and what goals she has that she wants to keep moving forward towards. We'll talk about nutrition, what to expect through the changes in pregnancy, preparing for labor and delivery. After baby's born, in that newborn stage, a lot of changes also come. So how the baby's gaining weight, what to expect with feeding, changes with breastfeeding, development, and then the toddler stage, the nutrition changes, development as well, tantrums. So really being there through all the stages and supporting what's really most important to the mom as well.
You must become quite attached to these families.
Yes, it's very easy to do.
That's incredible. So how many clients typically would you have? How many nurses are on staff?
We have 4 at Ingham County and our supervisor, and each nurse holds a caseload of 25.
No kidding.
So it can kind of fluctuate depending on where our clients are. In the first 4 weeks, we normally visit weekly, and then every other week until the end of pregnancy, and then weekly for the first 6 weeks, and then every other week until around 20 months, and then monthly for those last 4 months.
Is your area the Greater Lansing area, then?
Yes.
Okay. Because I know it's all over the state, right?
We have 10 sites across the
Do you
state.
really? Okay.
Yep, so 10 sites, and Ingham County is one of them.
Very good. Well, the end result is to my right, maybe to your left, however you're watching, and that is Danielle Cramell with young Micah. Well, let's talk about this, Danielle. What type of experience has it been for you?
It's been incredible. I would not know what to do without Kristen. It took me a minute to warm up. I can't lie. I was a little hesitant, like, what are you doing? Are you just coming here to take my baby away, to hear all these bad things? I don't know how to be a mom. So she worked with kind of building my confidence and my trust in her and just going over things, because I was a new mom. I was scared out of my mind. I'm like, I don't know what I'm doing. I'm doing this all
Right.
alone. I don't have a lot of support. And she has been there for every up and down that I've had.
That's wonderful. How did you find out about the Nurse Family Partnership?
I battled depression really bad, so I knew that once I found out I was pregnant with him, I needed to figure out any resource I could so that I could continue to be the best mom I could in case my depression spikes, plummets, whatever.
Right.
So I started with WIC, got, all that going, and they referred me to this program, and she was just kind of the product of it. I got partnered with her, and I could not be happier.
So you're prepared to have more babies, I guess, now, right?
I mean, I could.
If you want
crazy,
to.
right?
If you want to. Right.
Right.
Well, Jack, actually, if you don't mind if I comment, that's
No, not
actually
at all.
one of the things that Nurse Family Partnership works towards is helping. We're considered a multi-generational approach to ending poverty and helping families succeed. So we focus on the dyad, the mom and the baby at the same time, and really anything that we can do to help mom model and be the best mom she can be is modeling and being the best mom for Micah. And so that's the goal. And Nurse Family Partnership really serves the highest risk clients. And so the goal is to get them connected. So oftentimes they're home visiting programs like Nurse Family Partnership and
Right.
others. And we really strive to serve the moms. Like Danielle was saying, she struggles with depression. So we want her to have the best pregnancy outcome and the best development for the baby and the best self-sufficiency, right? And so by pairing her with a bachelor prepared nurse, it helps her achieve all of those outcomes. Same thing would be if, as Kristen was describing, what she does with Danielle and with other moms. If a mom is struggling with homelessness, it would be helping her get connected in the community. Cognitive impairment, she would be working to get her connected to resources. Job or school, anything that might put the mom at a higher risk for poor pregnancy outcomes or development of the child.
Sure.
Kristen would work alongside that mom too to figure out, and some moms have maybe one risk factor and some have many. Maybe substance use is one of them. So, how can Kristen and nurses like Kristen reach those moms and get them connected? That's the goal of the program.
What are the qualifications to become part of this organization? Not the organization, but to be a client.
Sure. So it's a first-time mama. It is a mom who is WIC or Medicaid eligible, and then she has to be enrolled within the first 28 weeks of pregnancy.
Okay. So you have a lot of people signing up. It was such a great program. I would imagine all young moms and moms that are listening and watching and so forth would be interested in this. And how would they contact you?
So we have a referral. They can go to the Nurse Family Partnership website or contact Ingham County Health Department. If they're a part of WIC, WIC will typically refer them. But yeah, we currently have a wait list, but you had mentioned the funding increase.
Right.
And some of that funding is going to go to support an additional nurse at Ingham County. And so we're super excited about that because that wait list then should lessen here in the next month or two or couple of months. But the program is highly desired, but the nice thing is that the Nurse Family Partnership Program in Ingham County has solid relationships built across the county where if they can't see the mom in the program at that time, they can refer them to another program.
Right.
But the goal is for a mom who's Medicaid or WIC eligible early in pregnancy before that 28th week, and it's her first time baby, we want to get her enrolled in NFP because NFP has the outcomes to help make a difference.
That sound in the background is young Micah. He's a little anxious there. Listen, let me ask you a question. In some homes, I would imagine it's not only the moms but the dads. What do the dads think about this, this group?
Yeah, I would definitely say it takes time to build relationship with the family, as Danielle was kind of mentioning. So what it kind of starts off as is I'll say, the program is called Nurse Family Partnership.
Right.
We recognize that it can take a team. So whether it's dad, whether it's grandma, whether it's sister, we really welcome them to the table to feel free to ask their questions. Sometimes they sit down, engage in the conversation. Other times they might be washing dishes in the kitchen and kind of ask some questions over the counter. So, we really go with that flow and whatever is going to support the family the best.
The great thing about it is you have an involvement with his family. I would imagine this is a relationship now that you must have, when Micah was born, you probably were, hey, when's it going to happen? And were you at the hospital at the time and so forth?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, there were a lot of text messages exchanged.
I wanted her there, but it didn't work out. But
Yeah.
I was like, okay, it's happening.
Well, what a great thread with this whole, having a baby. There's so much more to it, and to have somebody like Kristen and Amanda there for you, this organization,
incredible.
it really has. You would highly recommend it, I would imagine.
Oh, at times 10. Yes.
Very good.
Very much so.
How old is Micah now?
He is almost 5 months.
5 months old.
Yes, he wants to
He-
talk.
He wants to be on the radio. Don't
He's
leave
going to be
me
a
out.
disc jockey someday.
What a cute kid. He really is. Well, ladies, I appreciate you coming in. It's Amanda, this is a great organization, and you ladies have to be very proud of what you're doing for the community.
It really is. Before I was doing this work about 2 years ago, I was working in advocacy for another statewide association, and I loved that work. I came to this job kind of unexpectedly, and it has been a great joy. My mom actually died in 2007, from a prescription drug overdose. And she was, when I realized, I was going through her medical records one day, and I realized my mom would have been an NFP mom had the program been available to her. She got pregnant when she was with me when she was 16, and and my dad were in a motorcycle accident. And I just imagine if she would have had a nurse walking beside her during that really traumatic time, what would her life look like now? And, that's why I get up and do this work every day, because of Danielle and Micah, but also because of my mom, because I know there are a lot of moms out there like her that just wanted to be the best mom that they could be, and they just needed a little guidance.
Absolutely.
And a little connection. And, I hear you say that, it took a little time to build that trust. I imagine it would. I mean, can you share what it's given you, like, taking that step and that leap of faith and being vulnerable? What is it given you?
It was a lot. It took a lot because I
Yeah.
had a lot of trust issues with being depressed. I didn't trust anybody.
Sure.
And for her to want to know all this stuff about me, I'm like,
Yeah.
But she never pushed. She never pried. It was like, okay, so what are your worries? Let's start there. And we just kind of went there. And then every time we met, I opened up a little more and felt a little more comfortable. And she just became like a friend where we could just talk. And it was like the easiest thing ever. I could text her at 3 a.m. and be like, I used to hear a Q-tip in his ear. Like, is he going to go deaf? Like, I'm awful. Anything I did, I panicked. Or if I felt him move and I was like, okay, he hasn't moved in an hour. Is that okay? She would have an answer.
Oh, that's wonderful. Just you said it all. To have a friend out there and knowing that you can contact them at any time, night or day. That is wonderful.
And she had every resource. If I said, hey, I have a question about this, if she didn't know, she found it and immediately had it to me.
Well, Danielle, I appreciate you coming in and sharing
Thank
your
you
story
so
with
much.
us. Danielle Cromell, and also Kristen Arnold, the nurse practitioner that was in on this glorious moment when Micah was born. And Amanda, thank you very much for being with us as well. Once again, for people that are watching and listening, they may know somebody, or maybe they're in this situation themselves. How would they contact you again? I know we'll give you the website, but let's talk about it.
Sure. So nursefamilypartnership.org, all one, and then contact the Ingham County Health Department or your WIC program, and they will get you connected. Okay. I know that there's a 1-800 number that you can find on the website as well, but it's nursefamilypartnership.org.
Very good. Okay, everybody, we appreciate you coming in today. I think Micah might be hungry. Maybe might be a diaper change in the future here. So thanks a lot for coming on today.
Thank
Appreciate
you.
it. Great
Thank you,
organization, the Nurse Family Partnership. We're going to be right back. This is LCC Radio and TV.